Hey guys, the other day I was watching a couple of videos on YouTube and I saw this really neat trick where you can turn your liquid concealers into a foundation just using a moisturizer. So I'm going to be using two concealers in Scarlet and Organza. This is the Younique Touch Skin Perfecting one. I find Scarlet's slightly too light for me and Organza is slightly too orange, so I'm hoping by mixing the two I can get the correct shade, and then I'm going to be using the Divine Daily Moisturizer. I just roll my sleeves up. I haven't tried this yet, so we'll see. So I'm just going to get a little bit of Organza first. Pop a tiny amount on my hand of that one. And then I'm going to do the same with the Scarlet. So I've got a tiny amount of both there on my hand. And then I'm going to grab my Divine Daily Moisturizer and I'm going to put, not sure how much you meant to put, so we'll do that. And then I'm just going to mix it together on my hand. It takes quite a bit of mixing because it's such a thick concealer, but haha, we get right, now it's doing something. Right, so stained my hand, so there we go, it's kind of mixed. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off my glasses, I'm just going to put little bits all over my face. And so I'm not sure if I've done the quantities right or the right kind of mixture, but I thought I'd just give it a go while the lighting is good and see quite how it turns out. Right, so everything that was on my hand is now kind of evenly distributed. I've got none of it left on my hand, apart from, you can see I've got a tiny bit here, which is kind of sunk onto my skin. Now, my skin type is quite oily, so we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to use this brush here, which is the Body Shop's face brush. I quite like using this one. And then we'll just buff it into the skin. Let's see what it does. So I've got quite a bit of redness and I'm quite spotty. So let's see quite what it does. Now with this I've got no primer on at all. Just wanted to see what it would do without any additional products. Right, now I've got all that, I think, quite nicely buffed into my face. And so it's quite well buffed. But, okay, I've got none left in my hand. I probably could have done a little bit more on my nose, but I'm quite impressed with that actually. It's covered some of the spots. It's taken a lot of redness out of my cheeks. Still got a little bit left on my nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, actually this time I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the moisturiser first. Just I'm going to try and see if you can do like a second coat. So I'm going to put a teeny tiny amount on again. And this time I'm going to add the concealers on top of that dot and hope it all. So again, I'm just using tiny amounts of each. So that was Scarlet, just put on a little bit more Organza, so that's two dots, just put one on top of the other. And then I'll mix it in again. Ah yes, that mix is a lot better. I've made that a little bit too dark. Right, so yeah, that makes it a lot easier. So I'm just going to put it under my nose and under my eyes, so the bits that I think need a little bit more attention. Let's pop a little bit more on my forehead. Yeah, I've made this slightly too dark. I think the mixture that I did before was slightly better. But let's see. Right, so I've done one layer, so this is going to be my second layer. So using the same brush again, I'm just going to do the same as I did before. I'm just going to buff it into my skin. And on the video that I watched, it did say that it should give you like a nice natural looking skin still, but cover like a foundation. So there we go. Have a look at it compared to my neck. Does seem like quite a good match. Actually, that's a brilliant match. Right. Now, there we have it. It works really well. Wow. Right, so that horrible spot which I've been really struggling to cover is gone. Down here, it's really well covered. All my redness is gone. Now, the texture of it is quite tacky, but that's because obviously it was a moisturizer. So I'm guessing, obviously, when the moisturizer section of it sinks in, that it will feel quite nice. At the moment, it does feel a little bit tacky, but okay, on my forehead it's starting to dry a little bit. And it does, yeah, it just feels like your normal skin. My normal skin's slightly oily and it hasn't taken any oil away, obviously not, it's a moisturiser. It's not going to take any oil away, but it has, yeah, it's started right, and it's just giving me my normal kind of texture of my skin. Giving you obviously that normal shine that you get. This is definitely a winner for me. I'm going to do this more often. I quite like this. So there we have it. That's given me a nicer complexion. I'm more evened out, but I still have slight rosiness to my cheeks, so no need for blusher. It's always a bonus. It covered these spots up, all my spots I had here. If I just zoom in, you can see, if I go really close into the camera, all of these spots here. But if I come just slightly out, you can still see them because they're a bit lumpy, but they aren't red. My under eyes, if I wanted to cover them, I could just add a little bit more of Scarlet, as that's the lighter shade, for under my eyes. But I quite like that. So, products that I used for that was Divine Daily Moisturizer, which is for all skin types. On it, it says that you just apply it gently to face and neck, and that's really all that it says on there about that. But on the website it does give you slightly more information. And then I used two concealers, which was Scarlet, which is the lightest concealer that they do, and then Organza, which is the next shade up. I've mixed both of these together to get this, which I think looks quite close to my skin. I will have another little bit of a play to get it perfect. So that's a really good alternative to the liquid foundations, is using the concealer and the moisturiser. Also cuts out a job in the morning too, which is always a bonus. So now in the morning I can just get up, I don't need to think about moisturising, then having to wait for it to sink in. Just use this as a foundation with this. Right, so thank you for watching, guys. I'm glad I actually did this first time on camera for you, because you can then see my actual true reaction, which is, I'm doing this again. Right, thank you for watching, guys. Need any more information, please contact me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. See ya.